I have distinguished gentlemen on the panel coming from the pathogen economy. This is the bureau I lead. My name is Brenda Nakaziwe. I am the team leader, the pathogen economy. What is the pathogen economy? At Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat, Office of the President. Here we support, we coordinate the science ecosystem in the areas of research and development relating to response tools to health threats. So we span human, animal, and plant health. So this morning, our topic is we are looking at players in the industry, in the pathogen economy, who have come up with several products. And our theme, our panel theme this morning is building innovation-driven enterprises in the pathogen economy. So as we talk vaccines, diagnostics, therapeutics, you are going to see what we've been able to achieve in this field as a country, but as we also go beyond the borders of this country. Our first presenter this morning is talking about revolutionizing healthcare, Africa's quest for affordable biological drugs. We want to now welcome Dr. Matthias Magola to speak to us. Let's welcome him.
The Honourable Minister, the Ambassador, Member of the Parliament, fellow scientists, fellow panelists, ladies and gentlemen, it is sad that what journalists do not know is there are drugs that are out of reach to the African people, including the ones for treating sickle cell. There are two treatments for sickle cell that have been approved by FDA, Cassigavir and Lyfgenia. One costs $3.1 million. The other, the cheapest costs $4.2 million. I wonder how many Ugandans or how many Africans can really afford the cost of this. So what we are doing at Lead BioPharma is to try and bring the cost of biological drugs down so that our people can afford it. It's the reason why at Lead BioPharma, sitting on more than 150 acres of land at Matumba, and I want all of you to visit by the way. We are setting up more than 26 different manufacturing units, from biologics, vaccines, nutraceuticals, ointment, injectable, cephalosporins, carbapenem, oncology, small molecule. Name it. We want to be the center of excellence in Africa. We've been named as the largest pharmaceutical facility on the African continent by consultant firm, WHO and FDA, Food and Drug Association in the US. What you see in Matuka is what they call innovation. We are not only talking about manufacturing, we are talking about innovation. I'll give you an example. My first patent that I filed in the US, you've heard that I have more than 100 patents in the US, and I continue to file more to treat different diseases. But guess what? The first patent that I find in the US is used for treatment of acute kidney failure, severe anemia, and venous cancer. This drug is called the Dequity. It's a biological drug. I don't know, I was discussing the cancer issue the other day when they visited me at Matuka. They don't have this drug. Because the dose is about $1,000. The dose. So guess what I did? I find the patent on this drug. And I'm the first one to do so, to make this product using mRNA. And when I use mRNA to make this drug, I reduce the cost by 95%, the current cost. So when I made this drug, I went to the US FDA. And I'm the first one in the world to go to the US FDA with a product that has been made using it, with a therapeutic product that has been made using the money. Did you understand that? Because all the biological drugs are using the recombinant process. My brother here knows what he goes through. The first time. When you make these biological drugs using the recombinant technology, they are not affordable to us. But I find a research paper in a peer-reviewed journal, and I wish you had projected it for people to see. It won the best molecular biology award in the world. I'm teaching the world that when you want to make these products affordable, use mRNA. And I have a research paper on that. It was published in the peer-reviewed journal, which is headquartered in the US and Switzerland. Now, what are we doing in Matuka? What are we doing with our more than 100 patents? This first drug that I did, the FDA, and the FDA actually have been with the development plan. The minutes are there to that people. What we are doing in Matuka is to manufacture this biological drug, to manufacture these vaccines that have not been affordable for the first time on the African continent in Uganda. Can we clap for that? Because in Uganda we bought more than 90% of the essential drugs. We want to change that by ensuring that we manufacture all the drugs that Uganda needs. And we are doing it right there in the home. So, what are we saying? What are we doing? We want to assure Ugandans that first of all, we thank our president, the president of this country. We thank the Honorable Minister of Innovation, who has given us all this support. Because you know that putting a single molecule, a biological molecule, to market, the cost is around $55 billion. This drug is made every year. It generates about $10 billion in sales for a single company. So by making these affordable in Africa, we are not only going to multiply the fortunes of this country, we are bringing a new solution so that other people who have not been affording these drugs can afford them for the first time on the African continent. I thank you.
Thank you very, very much, for the great work happening there. Indeed, we are building this economy. No longer are we going to look at things as, oh my God, this is a cradle of disease. We are going to be impoverished by disease, but we are using the same pathogens to actually come up with solutions. That's the name, the pathogen economy. And right after Dr. Magola, we are calling on Dr. Cedric Kwesije. You're very welcome to speak to that great delegates here. You're welcome.
The Honorable Minister, the Ambassador, Member of Parliament that are available today, protocol observed. Good morning. I'm so excited that Brenda and her team, they chose a Monday morning to talk about science. This is very important. Very important. Because on a Monday morning, with a lot of fresh energy from the weekend and what, and then we start talking about science. This is very, very important. I'm Dr. Cedric Kwesije. I'm the MD of Michael Hill Group of Companies. I'm here to talk about, they requested me to talk about two things. How, question one was, key investments to scale up pharma manufacturing in Uganda, and how can Uganda fast track this industry and pharma manufacturing. Now, there are four key important activities if you are going to set up and manufacture a product in health. Number one is the infrastructure. The infrastructure for manufacturing the bio product that is going to be used on human being has a standard. It's not the usual brick and mortar, and that part costs some good money. The second part is the science, the technology, the development, the R&D part. The third part is human resource. In biomanufacturing, not everyone has capacity or has gotten the skill. So the skill set, actually when we were discussing this issue in 2022, when we were, I don't know whether you know that what we are talking about here is a continental agenda. When we are discussing how do we break out, how does East African continent break itself from the problem of importing almost 100% of health products it's using. One of the challenges they gave us was, they put across was, where are you going to get the skill set. And the fourth part is the money. Biomanufacturing is not cheap. Later when I hear some people talking about budget, money, I just wish they can understand what they're talking about. It's a very expensive venture. But how do we do this in our continent? How do we stand out and still succeed with all these challenges ahead of us? Okay? So one is we have to look in-house. Which capacity do we have in-house? For example, do you know that there is no bigger farm in the outside countries, what do they call it? Call them overseas diaspora, okay? Where you go and you find the entire production team or the research and development team when there's no black. Talk of any of these. So we have a huge capacity as Africa that we can call back our brown brothers to do what they have been doing out there and do it here. After talking about this, let me just show you one example. Professor Alex, can you stand up? This Professor Alex is an American. He's been there for over 20 years. Has developed so many products, has taught so many. This Professor Alex is not any, he's a man from here.
Celebrating the first National Science Summit, we can't take it for granted. By his fancy and way that we are here today. I also want to use this chance, first of all, to thank the organizers of this function, Honorable Dr. Monica Musanza, for carrying the vision of science in this country. We know that before she came on board, we never used to hear about scientists and science work with industry or meeting such a forum. So I want to thank her for the leadership she's showing. And of course, we cannot forget the government of Uganda, led by President Museveni. Whenever I talk about Uganda and meet other scientists, they admire our president. They say, I wish we could put them President Museveni to be their president in their country. So we should be grateful that we have a leader who understands science and loves science. I also want to use this chance to again emphasize what the minister said. I think we're telling Professor Chiwenga and others, mentoring people who will carry on. I'm very glad that Professor Wako, who taught me pharmacology in undergraduate, is here doing more questions today. We used to do questions those days. At Masters, was again the one giving me questions. At PhD was one giving me questions. When I was promoted to Associate Professor, was one giving my work. And today again he's giving me questions. So I want to thank you and recognize your efforts in my life. So the question is, how did I manage to move from research to industry? First of all, I think I did research in 2004 at chemotherapeutic one day there as a research officer. And while I was there, one of my nephews, I was informed by the mother that he has sickle cell disease and told it up to him. So what I did first is to review plants in Uganda that could be used for sickle cell disease. And I found publications by Professor Wako, Professor Guala, and Professor Jake, and I began from there. By that I know that the first paper I published, I was there with Professor Wako. When I started for review, I got comments, and one of them was so difficult for me to answer to my first paper. So I went to his office, and I sat down with him, and we interacted and we had solved the problem. And people was accepted and published as my first review paper. So thank you for that. Now, I found a plant called Zaxara Gileti, or Chaliga Uganda, has anti-signaling properties. So I decided to make medicine for my nephew. I first got that plant, entered the laboratory, and tested for safety. When I found that it was safe, then I formulated into a syrup, which again I took back to animals to test it to be able to prevent anti-signaling. And I found that it was working. So I gave that medicine to my nephew, and after like 2 weeks, the crisis went off, and I want to thank God that up to now he's alive, more than 30 years. He's more than 30 years old. But from there, one day I bought land on the other side. I used to be a farmer also. So I went to check on my land, and I passed my neighbor's home. And there was a young boy, about 12, 13 years, sitting under the sun. And I asked the grandmother that, what's the problem with this boy? She told me that the boy has a kidney problem. A problem with kidney. I said, kidneys, and you're here sitting under the sun? I asked for his papers. The papers from Lago Hospital, sickle cell unit. I found that he had sickle cell disease, but it was affecting his life. I told the grandmother that I have medicine to apply my medicine and it's working. So the following day, I went back to the medicine for the boy, and I gave it to him. After 1 week, I went back to my land, but I passed there. I don't find him. He was called Boyanda, sitting under the sun. I thought he was not there, so I asked the grandmother, where's Joshua? He said, he has gone back to school, boarding school. I said, no, you can't do it. The school far, he said, not far. So I went there with the grandfather. We found we are in class studying the medicine that helped him to go back to school. Now, one time I went to Ethiopia to do my research in Ethiopia, and I spent there 1 month. When I came back, I got a call from the father who had died. I asked myself, I asked the father, what happened? He said, we looked for you to make for us the medicine. We called their numbers, they were off. From that time, I said, I must make medicine and put on the shelf in pharmacies. So they formed a company called Jenabos Limited. And I began manufacturing medicine under that company and giving to pharmacists to give to patients. So even if I'm not in Uganda, they can access the medicine and nobody needs to know what went around. So that's how I do the kind of manufacturing commercial. But I still want to for a long time. That's what I'm supposed to say. However, there are many people who are facing different challenges. Diabetes, ulcers, and all this. What I did first was to do a lot of research on the plants we have in this country. I did a number of them for safety, their clinical properties, and also what they do. And if you look at my products, the work I did 10 years ago, and the ones I'm doing now, the research I did 10 years ago. So without understanding the material you're working with, you cannot make a product. First, understand the material, its science, then you can transfer to solve a problem. So after that, I began making like for both for ulcers and putting further formats. Now, at the beginning, I faced one challenge. I would make the medicines, take them to the pharmacy, and the patient like the medicine, they are working, but they will burst. You know, they want to just burst. So one time I went to Fred, but why don't some people bursting? The medicines are good, people like it, but what? People in our shell. So I learned the value of natural preservation. I saw that problem. So in other words, when you begin a journey, there are two challenges. From lab to industry, you're changing the process. You're changing the method of making the medicine. So you have to understand the science of what you're doing before you move to industry. That's what I would solve. During the time of COVID, we all remember, when COVID came, we were all looking for a solution. I had a formula that I'd grown like 7 years before. I knew it would give viruses to it yourself. When my colleague came sick at the University, I gave him, I believe 2 days after that. And after COVID, I gave him a result in 2 days. So because I had a knowledge of that, this product can kill viruses and put it to them, and I'll show safety. So in terms of challenges, of course there are financial challenges are there, but if you are committed, as Dr. Makola said, you'll never give up. You have been through many years of struggle. Use your pocket money, give some people along the way, government will see you and give you the support. So I want to end by saying that right now, my company employs more than 100 people, scientists, in general. And every year we train students from Barara, from all universities that come here for placement. You are welcome to Zindara, to New Zealand, and also the people at Soroti, they are all welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Guan. Our next panelist is Mr. Ivan Douglas Karugaba. We are now talking about homegrown.
Ensuring that the medical system, the great vaccines, the medicine and the diagnosis processes are being improved by our own and our own motherland. We are so grateful. So you're adding for yourself those that will give you support in saving lives. It is such a great honor
the issue of bureaucratic delays that previously discouraged investment, research, commercialization. So we're addressing that, and we're seeing a lot of investments coming up, and we thank you, the innovators. Uganda's decades of stability and security provide the foundation of successful STIs, but modern investment require digital age accountability and transparency. So, going forward, building investor confidence through investment protection. Our key points are here. Transparent regulatory frameworks that will reduce investment risk and those that will lower the cost of capital for innovators. That's where we are focusing, the Honorable Minister. Having strong intellectual property enforcement mechanisms to protect both local and international or foreign investors and partners. Having clear dispute resolution processes to encourage long-term partnerships between researchers and innovators. Quality research standards and market readiness. The critical elements include research must meet international standards to attract serious investors. Commercialization pathways should be considered from research design phase. And so Professor Bruce, as you continue to produce these great innovators, scientists and inventors, their research designs will matter most on the market during commercialization. So let the standards start from your laboratories until you receive them on the market, because you're able and you have shown great competencies, but also results are speaking for themselves. His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, who remains the chief promoter, supporter, and protector of STIs, is very, very happy It is not just marketing, it's measurable validation of our approach together as Ugandans, or goodwill Ugandans especially. The Made in Uganda Innovation to Market theme of this year's National Stewardship NSW perfectly captures this vision. We are not just showcasing what our scientists can discover, but we are demonstrating how our institutions can protect and nurture the investment needed to bring those discoveries on the global market. How do you balance protecting investors with the current risk-taking in research? A protection does not mean eliminating risk. It means making risks transparent and manageable. We focus on creating clear rules, reliable enforcement, and fair dispute resolution mechanisms so that investors can make informed decisions about which risk to take and which one not to try. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister, I would like to conclude by pointing out the fact that I made a lot of notice thinking that it was going to be a panel discussion, so now Professor chose to put me on light to say that now give your remarks, so and I don't want to speak for long, but surely from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of the State House Investors Protection Unit, for us we are very, very delighted to see that the great scientists, researchers, innovators and inventors taking Uganda forward, and we think that Uganda is going to fly through the middle class and get to the first class because of your great efforts that have produced results in the shortest time possible. So what the way forward is, in my view, Uganda must position itself strategically by fostering public-private partnerships, ensuring that research aligns with global demands, which you're doing, because really you have great your international standards are clear, and so in addition to fostering the PPPs, the public-private partnerships, ensure that your well-aligned research continues to meet and compete favorably with global standards, and supporting policies that turn ideas into economic policies. Let's turn your great ideas into economic assets. We must not just be consumers of technology, we must be creators and exporters of innovation. This is our moment. Science is the foundation of economic growth, and if all of us as Ugandans and goodwill human beings, if we all invest our efforts in supporting STIs and invest wisely in all that we do to promote science, technology, inventions and innovations, Uganda can lead, not just regionally, but globally. I thank you all, and I wish you the very best. I invite the Honorable Minister to come and address this great gathering, and from the bottom of my heart, once again, I am humbled to take part, and I hope I have been given the chance to associate.
To make sure that locally made products are procured by government, which is the biggest consumer of products and services. Academia, embed innovation in curriculum and set up incubation centers. fund platform trials and product validation initiatives. In conclusion, the Communica affirms a shared commitment to transform Uganda into a hub of scientific and industrial excellence, and all stakeholders are called upon to align with efforts of NDP 4 and Vision 2040 and add it to move innovations from the lab to the market. This communique has been prepared and read before the Minister of Science, the Secretariat, the participating academic institutions, Makerere University, Mbarara, and Bustema, innovators, and the private sector. The next step is to draft policy briefs for cabinet, a document, public dissemination of outcomes, and then follow up on action points. I'm going to add one more next step. That tomorrow at 5 p.m., this committee will have an after-action review at 5 p.m. as has been in the organization. Honorable Minister, now I will finish the committee. I want to deliver the following thanks. I want to thank all of you, the attendees, especially you who have said to remain here at this time when it is getting done. Please clap also. I want to thank the speakers. I want to thank the panelists. I want to thank the chairs, and especially our day program director, Prof. Robert. I think he's done a wonderful job. I know we have all done a wonderful job, but you know, being up and down, you can't check your WhatsApp because you are directing the program. It's not easy. I'm sure you have 1,000 WhatsApp. I want to thank Honorable Minister, as you guided me 3 months ago, these pre-interns, Honorable Minister, you remember you guided me, I need to create a program to keep them active and sharp, which I'm still working on, Honorable. But I started with this summit, I invited 10 pre-interns who have been handling our activities, the running. Please can you stand up the pre-interns on their works? Oh, I think there is a work. So the pre-interns organize the dining area, they have been the one carrying the food, organizing everything. And I also want to thank you for that guidance, that these people who have already qualified and waiting for professional.
Please be seated. The day has run so fast. And starting with the protocol already established, I will take less than 5 minutes in my closing remarks. First of all, I wish to congratulate everybody. Let us congratulate ourselves for this inaugural ever science summit in the country. It's good to be part of the history. And you have been part of this history which has been said today. I believe that we have all learned a lot. We have created new networks. We have understood new things. Definitely for me, I have seen projects. You know, when we were beginning STI, I knew every single project. Now there are so many that I can't keep up. So this has been an opportunity for me to hear about some of these projects, and I believe that you have created the linkages, as we said in the morning, that part of the objective is to demystify the work that we are doing. So I want to thank you all. I thank those who prepared. Thank you for the idea of taking on the challenge and delivering something phenomenal to all of us. I believe that this platform has helped us to see a lot of novel ideas that we will possibly look at and say maybe these ones need to go to the next level. So we have picked a lot, and some of them we are going to be following up to see where do you need the support to move to the next level. So in the morning I already laid down expectations, and I believe that in the communique and through the day we have met most of those expectations. Just one point, Kanana Kalima, thank you so much for that very insightful remarks to us. It's very good for us to hear from a person who is seeing us from the other side, because it is for you that we are working, and having that mirror point for us to see what is being appreciated and where people are struggling to appreciate us is very, very helpful, because we want to be the best. And when you want to be the best, you really want a lot of feedback so that you can purify yourself a bit more. So I just want to comment that as you have been here this afternoon, and for those who were here in the morning before you came, you will notice that as you went through some of the exhibitions, you will notice that there are so many domestic investors. Many of these young people sought funds on their own initiative, and they started work. And so they are really investors. Many of them have denied themselves. Not all the people here have received funding. The majority of people here have funded themselves in some way. And I think they deserve to be recognized as investors. And if we recognize them as investors, it's important that we also upgrade the recognition and the attention that we give to them in the investor protection. So I would like you to know that there is a very surging storm of domestic investors. They are poised to transform the landscape of our economy if they can receive the support. Some of the support they need is not monetary. Some of the support they need is protection. I have to deal with this, and now that you are here, I think you can help me with the protection, and I deal with the technical support. So that we work together. Their nature of protection sometimes does not arise from individuals who are intending to harm them. Many times it arises from structures that we have built, slow public service structures, which are non-responsive to investors, or structures and systems which were set to serve us when Uganda was not producing investors, but was simply importing products. And they need adjustment so that they can now serve these domestic investors. I believe that working together, we can create a fast-tracking ecosystem, because most of their challenges are delays. There are delays, you go to an office so many times, instead of being served immediately. There are delays in communication. If I need a service and this particular office does not have capacity to give me the service, instead of them saying so, they may tell you, oh, come back tomorrow, come back the other day. I believe that we can work together to positively build a positive and very supportive environment. I have a bit of challenges with unclear policies. Every day I receive complaints from things that were supposed to be tax exempt, and then they come and they are held at customs. This is a challenge from research equipment to their health, and you keep wondering, is this or is this? They are very unclear, and so their type of protection may be different. but we need to work together because they are going to be a growing category of investors. I just wanted to, Professor Chirenga, in the communique, government has promised, and we are pursuing 2% of GDP, not 1%. I have a communication, not official, but I have a communication, a reliable communication to that effect. And so we would like now to promise that we adopt the communique with that amendment so that we can all be accountable for this when we meet next year. I wish to urge the more senior individuals to provide mentorship to the young ones. If you see here a young innovator and you have some knowledge about the field where they are in, they can reduce time lost if we are able to mentor them. I also wanted to say that getting the habit of consulting, at STI we are very open, you can call us and we'll give you guidance. Because I had somebody who said they were written a paper for publication about their innovation and later said they are preparing to file the patent. The moment you publish, you have forfeited the patent. So how you synchronize? When we were in a publish or perish, your push was to publish. When you are in product or perish, first make sure you secure your intellectual property before you give out the information in the publication that other people are going to produce very fast before your own intellectual property comes out. So when you need to consult, we have a program at STI, the Investor Readiness Program. We help you to understand. So even if just call and ask, when you go on the website, there is a number. Usually that person will take your number and direct. We are working to get a dedicated number because that's somebody's private number, but we had to start somewhere. And on our website there is a number, so please you can call and ask for that guidance so that you don't work so hard and we jeopardize your work. I must say it has been the greatest privilege for me to be here today. Thank you so much, all of you. I wish you a very successful rest of the National Science Week. May the Lord bless you so much. At STI, we aim at making Uganda the best for God and my country. God bless you. Bye.
At the end of our summit, I'll ask Professor Chirenga to lead the minister out so that we can call it a day. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
So, we have a case of root in Uganda.
We work with it.
What
This
they
woman
have.
makes flight simulators in Uganda. It might be too long to show you.
Yeah.
It's actually
A simulator.
Flight simulators?
Flight simulator, yes.
So you
But
can
are you
actually
preparing to have at least like a press conference?
Thank you, Uganda the best. Thank you very much. I would request that we take our seats. At this moment,